Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1478 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey, both offline and online, business journey primarily, but I also talk about other things. Shared 2 pieces of content today, made 2 different videos, one for Supersize Your Business, and that's for people that are growing and scaling and building their business. We talked about the idiom love at first sight, and then 12 signs that you're in love, and how do those relate to building and growing and supersizing a business. And for me, I can find a direct correlation to absolutely every one of those things. And then we talked about what do you do to keep the love going and growing for your business that you're building and supersizing and not losing the spark. So often, I'm divorced, I get it. We fall in love, we pick the person we want to spend the rest of our life with, and then life gets in the way, life changes, things happen, people change, and the spark is extinguished, can't say extinguished today, and gone. So how do we do that? So we talked about that with respect to business, and I'm hoping people will share how they keep their enthusiasm as they're growing and supersizing and building their business alive. Now, for our annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge, do one thing every day that improves us. We talked today about letting go strategies, specifically some activities and exercises to help us think through an emotion or a feeling that we're willing to commit to letting go of about 90% of the time. And since we have the power to define what things mean for us, different emotions and feelings, we can let go of the 90% that doesn't serve us and keep the 10% that protects us and keeps us safe. So for example, we can let go of fear 90% of the time. 90% of the time nowadays in today's society, the things that we actually are afraid of or feel afraid of are manufactured in our heads more than they are manufactured or real threats to most of our safety and security. Now, everybody's situation is different. I understand that. But in my life, there are very few, if anything, to be afraid of. I mean, the dogs will bark and scare me, but does that mean I need to run and hide or be in fear of my life? No, it just means I need my dogs to behave better and not bark and scare me at odd times over every little noise they hear. So we talked about that in our annual challenge. This segment, we're focusing on emotional well-being. Throughout the challenge this year, we are talking about the different areas and aspects of our life. We could just do a random thing every day, which is kind of what I've done the last 4 years. I've gone along with a journal book on a different topic, and every year I've had an annual challenge. I think the first one was to do one thing every day that scared me, to stretch my comfort zone. The next year was do one I think it was one thing every day that makes you happy. Then last year, COVID year, was do one fun thing every day, which was perfect with my 4, then 5-year-old granddaughter. And then last year was to do one thing every day that centers us. And this year I thought, okay, I want to do an annual challenge, but I want to do my own. So I started to do it at the beginning of the year. And I realized that not having a topic, not having an idea, not having content mapped out was not the best idea. And it's not how I run the rest of my life. So why would I do my annual challenge that way? So I got out a calendar. I got a Gerton's calendar from my sister for Christmas, just a little free Gerton's calendar. And I just started mapping out the topics. So every day we have, this is the overarching topic I'm going to talk about. It makes it a lot easier to plan and think about. It doesn't take a ton of time and energy because I'm pulling on my past experience, past tools and things, or things that I use all the time for myself and the people that I work with. So I'm just sharing them. So today we talked about 8 different activities that you can use to let things go, or to analyze and figure out what's emotionally really important to you and what's really not important to you. It's kind of like the project I did a couple of years ago. I cleaned out and moved from my home where I raised my kids with my ex-husband. And I made a commitment to myself going into that project that I was going to eliminate 90% of the physical things that are in my life and were cluttering up my life back then. Now you'll notice I've already regained a lot of clutter. You can tell by my background, my fun clutter things. But I did get rid of 90% of my physical possessions at the time, and probably a little bit more. And so I think that's a good activity. I think that every few years, I should personally go through, and maybe not 90%, but I should get rid of and let go of the things that no longer serve me. If I'm not using it anymore, or if I've never used it and it's been in my closet a couple of years, maybe I should give that to somebody that will use it versus hanging on to it. So letting go strategies. Today we talked about ways of identifying what you want to let go of. And then tomorrow I'm going to share some of the letting go strategies that I have found the most fun and the most effective for me over the years. So that's what I'm working on. I've got busy schedule today. Plus I've got to carve out some time to go and see one of my sisters. I promised her that I would. So if you have any questions, if you need help with anything, if you have any concerns about supersizing or growing your business and you don't feel like you have somebody to ask, message me, right? I'm not going to give you a ton of time, but I guarantee anything, any challenge you're facing, in 5 minutes, I can help you identify your next step. And all we ever need is to know, what do I need to do right now? What's my next step? We don't have to know all of the things and how the whole world's going to shake out, because things are changing all the time. And what our next step after the next step is might be totally different when we take that first step than if we never take that first step, or if we take the first step and the second step, and etc. So if I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Have an absolutely fabulous day. Let go of the things that no longer serve you, and believe in love at first sight. Bye.